Hello fashion sewers, I hope you're all doing fine. I just wanted to do a recap on making changes, a video I posted last week, and I want to thank you all very much for all of your questions and comments and suggestions that you would like me to consider as I'm making these changes to my channel. So do forgive me, I will be looking down on my notebook because I've just written some quick notes down to make sure I don't forget anything. So yeah, I want to say again, thank you very much for all your comments, they really are appreciated. So the general consensus is that a lot of you want me to do refashioning of my projects, you want me to keep that up. But I think a lot of you want me to go into a little bit more depth about how I do that, how I refashion everything. Because when I've done it in the past, I've only shown you certain techniques and, where it's a bit more of a difficult refashioning to do. So yeah, that is definitely on my plans to kind of do that over a 3-part kind of series so that you can actually get as much information about how, the reasons why, and maybe I'll be answering some questions within the video itself about other body types and what possibly they could do, because obviously I'm making things for myself and my body type, so hopefully I can foresee some of those questions and answer them in the video. And you're more than welcome, even after the video is being, uploaded, to make comments on that, and it's something I can consider for future refashioning videos. So yeah, I will definitely be keeping up with refashioning, and it's also about sustainability. So that's something that I'm passionate about as well, and I will be considering doing as part of my changes is a sew and tell. And I will be doing not necessarily a tutorial, but I'll probably be doing some hand sewing and talking to you about any certain topics to do with fashion and sewing and sustainability. So I'm quite looking forward to that, because I think someone needs to be saying that from the perspective of people who do make things for themselves. So yeah, I would love to hear your views and opinions on that. So yeah, that's going ahead. So I'm going to be doing sew and tell, and that'll be on a weekly basis as much as I possibly can until we run out of topics to talk about. And refashioning, yeah, that'll more or less be on a weekly basis. There'll be more simple ones and much more detailed ones, which will be over, from what I can envisage at the moment, a 3-part series for each one of the projects, so I can give you a lot more depth. There was one or two comments about pattern drafting. Now I will go into pattern drafting next week. I've got some news in which to tell you about pattern drafting, so I'm not going to say too much about it now, but I love pattern drafting. Oh, I so love pattern drafting. To me, pattern drafting is sort of like figuring out if something will work. When you create something, when you design something, it's not the sewing to see what it's going to look like, it's the pattern shapes and how it works alongside each of the other pattern pieces in order to create that 3-dimensional look to a garment. Yeah, that's that part of the fashion design process I really do love. And when I was teaching in a traditional sense, yeah, it is a subject that is misunderstood, but I think that I have come up with an easier way to put that information out there for people to love it, because out of the 3 elements of designing, pattern drafting, and also garment construction, the biggest area that I found over the years was that students didn't enjoy drafting patterns, and I think it could be coming from books. There's so many books out there and they seem to make it a lot more complicated. But anyway, moving on, yeah, as I said, I will be doing pattern drafting. I will be talking about pattern drafting next week and telling you more information about that. So the next thing that came up quite a bit is that people are concerned about age. don't be concerned. I don't care how old you are. Fashion is for everyone. And whatever your fashion taste is, enjoy it, work it, show it off. Just go for it. I think the time of, oh, maybe not so. I think the older you are, say when you pass 30 or maybe 35, you tend to pay less attention to what the media is saying about fashion and you should be wearing what. Wear what you want, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100. Just wear what you want. And I'm hoping through my channel that I'm hoping that I can embrace that side of people to kind of like, if you're making it, yeah, wear it. I don't care what anybody has to say. You made it, wear it with pride. So I'm going to talk about that topic as well, because I really do want people to feel as though they have the right to own what they make and make what they want. So the next thing is planning, wardrobe planning, and it's quite interesting this, because I've come across this quite a bit in the fashion world, where you've got a capsule wardrobe, for example, and we don't talk about too much in the sewing world. And it's quite interesting that even though you are making your own clothes, and we tend to be led a little bit by the pattern sewing industry, we're not really sure how to work that in our wardrobe. So yeah, I will be doing topics around that, about how to work that into your wardrobe, and also how to wear refashion projects, which is kind of interesting. I didn't really think that, that it plays alongside, organising your wardrobe. So that is something that I will definitely be thinking about and putting it out there about how to wear your makes, because I tend to wear my makes alongside what I've refashioned, and that's only been in the past 3, 4, 5 years, because I really wasn't really big into refashioning garments as I am now. I have done it in the past, but it was very sporadic. If I saw something in a shop and I thought, oh yeah, I love that, but I didn't like a certain detail, then yeah, I'll go along and purchase, and then I'll refashion it. But it was nothing that I really kind of did a great deal. I was really about a person who was about designing and then doing a pattern part, and yes, I'm going to make this pattern work, and then doing the garment construction. So yeah, I kind of understand where people are coming from with that kind of comment. So yeah, definitely taking that on board. Slow sewing. Now, slow sewing involves a lot of hand sewing, and also it can be slow sewing in the sense that you're not going to make something from start to finish in one go. So I've been referred to as a person who does a lot of slow sewing, or old school, I should say, being referred to. And what old school really means is slow sewing. I am very passionate about the fact that my clothes have to look gorgeous. My clothes, as far as I'm concerned, are designer. So I know that I would, even if I had the money, I wouldn't go out there and buy, a coat worth £5,000. Why would I when I've got the skills to do it myself? I made that £5,000 coat myself. Do I have a £5,000 coat in my closet? Yes, along with many other garments. My garments in my wardrobe, as far as I'm concerned, are designer, and I'm really passionate about also telling you the stories along how you should think about your garments, and whether you think you are a designer, or you think your garments are probably, kind of fit into possibly 3 categories, and I'll definitely be talking a lot more about that. So I'm so looking forward to the changes that I'm making, but I also want you to be part of the process, or where you're involved in the discussion. At the moment, I'm going to make sure that they're going to be uploaded videos, and then we'll do discussions then, and at some point maybe I'll go live, but that information has to come from you. So I want a little bit direction from yourselves about the new content that I'm putting out there, because I want to make sure that it's something that you want, and it's also something that I enjoy doing. So with that said, let me just quickly have a look at my notes to see if I've missed anything. How I make my clothes. Yeah, how I make my clothes. most of the content on my video on my channel are about sewing techniques, so it's quite interesting that people want me to see how I make my clothes. And I think they're referring to the fact that they wanted me to see me do it from the beginning, the first time perhaps I cut something out and, you know, I make the first stitch on the sewing machine, because I only show you different elements of my sewing projects. So that's quite interesting, and yes, that's something I will definitely consider. I am a one-woman band in a sense that I do a lot of the videoing by myself. So yeah, so it's all about angles and stuff, and what information will help you when I do a certain technique, and maybe I'll leave some of the more simpler stuff for you to work out. But I do understand that there are beginners that will also watch my channel. So yeah, looking forward to that. Now, once again, I just really want to say thank you very much for your comments on this particular video. So I'm going to be keeping up with my weekly outfits. I've been enjoying this. So I've done another one this week, so I'm going to upload that tomorrow. So obviously, and I'm doing Saturday, so I'm going to do Saturday's outfit and I'll upload it Saturday later on in the day. So it's been interesting me doing this, and I think it's given me a little bit more insight to how I put my wardrobe together, and I don't seem to be struggling, but I do understand why some people may struggle to style what it is that they are wearing, whether it's a make or something that they've bought. So yeah, I really am looking forward to these changes, and hopefully it will lead to more interesting content on my channel. So with that said, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please do share. And yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. Please do comment below. I need lots of comments from you, so that the channel so that we can embrace the next changes within Colleen G. Lee's FSBTV.